In the past, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle made many choices that allowed them to live a very fancy life. But lately, they do not have a lot of money coming in every month from their old jobs. Meghan wants to travel the world to help people, and she says she is here to help for a long time. This is why it was such a big surprise when the Duke of Sussex showed up at a special meeting in San Francisco. At this meeting, Harry said 5 words that he can never take back. He was at a health event, and he told everyone that being free can sometimes feel like being in a cage. This is a very big deal for everyone watching. For many years, we watched him walk away from his royal life and his crown. He broke ties with his family and stood by Meghan through everything. He was the loyal prince who picked love instead of his royal duties. But now, that version of Harry is starting to change. He is finally admitting things that are not just about helping Meghan. He is starting to wake up to things he did not see coming. This is Harry using his own words to say that the life he thought would make him happy might have trapped him instead. What he did next really surprised every person who was watching him that day. Last week, something very strange happened at a health event in California. No one expected Harry to say what he did. He talked about how for many, many years, people have told lies about him and his family. The whole event was supposed to be very quiet and private. There were not many cameras or news people invited to see it happen. The focus of the meeting was on how men can take care of their minds and their feelings. Harry is very comfortable talking about these kinds of things. He has talked about being sad and dealing with hard feelings for a long time now. He stood on the stage with a microphone in his hand. He was wearing casual clothes and looked like a regular guy from California. He talked about being sad when someone dies and how hard it is to lose someone you love very much. He talked about trying to find a reason to be happy when life feels very heavy. These are things he has said many times before at other events. Everything was going smoothly, and everyone was listening quietly. It all felt very safe and controlled until someone asked a question that changed the whole mood of the room. The person leading the talk asked Harry a very serious question that day. He asked Harry if he had ever felt like he lost the real version of himself because of love. Harry became very still. He did not just stop to think for a second. This was something much deeper. People who were there said his whole face changed in a split second. The polished smile he always wears for the cameras was totally gone. His shoulders got very tight and his jaw was closed hard. For a moment, it looked like he was going to get up and walk away without saying a single word. But he stayed in his chair. There was a very long and awkward silence that made everyone in the room feel very nervous. Finally, he let out a very big breath. It did not look like he was acting or trying to be dramatic for a show. It was real. It was the sound of a person who had been keeping a secret locked inside for way too long. It had been 6 long years, to be exact. It was the kind of breath you take when you finally stop telling yourself lies. When he finally spoke, his voice was much quieter and softer than it usually is. In private talks, King Charles was not moved by Harry feeling sorry for himself. He was more focused on keeping the royal story strong and proud. Harry was talking like he was half talking to the people in the room and half talking to himself. He admitted that there was a time when he really lost who he was. He said there was a period where he looked in the mirror and did not know the person looking back at him. He thought that when he made all those big choices and left everything behind, he was moving toward a better life. Then he said the line that everyone is talking about now. He said that sometimes freedom can look a lot like a cage. The room went completely silent after he said those words. Nobody moved and nobody even wanted to breathe the wrong way. Those words were very strong and impossible to misunderstand. They hit hard because everyone knew exactly what he was talking about. He was not talking about the old palace or the royal rules. He was talking about right now. He was talking about his life in California with Meghan. He was saying that his new life feels like a prison cell he built for himself. Something that people do not usually talk about is the money part of the dream. Living the way Harry and Meghan do in California is not cheap at all. It costs millions of dollars every single year just to keep their life going. They have to pay a lot of money for their own security because they do not get help from the royal guards anymore. They have a giant house in Montecito with a very large loan they have to pay back. they have many people working for them to keep everything running. They travel all the time and wear very expensive designer clothes for every appearance. All of this costs a lot of money very fast. For most of his life, Harry never had to think about money at all. He was born into one of the richest families on the planet. Every expense was handled for him and every bill was paid. Security was automatic. He could focus on his work and his life without ever checking a bank account. But all of that changed when he left. Now he lives in a world where the money has to keep flowing in, or everything will fall apart. This is where things get very hard for Harry. Their big deal with Spotify is gone. Their partnership with Netflix was supposed to be their way to make a lot of money, but it is not going well anymore. Their projects are not as popular as they need them to be. People are not as interested as they used to be when they first moved. Hollywood can be very mean, and if you do not make a big hit, people move on to someone else. The pile of money that seemed like it would last forever is starting to run out. Harry is feeling a lot of pressure that he has never felt before. He went from a life in a palace where everything was given to him to a life where he has to sell things to survive. Their huge mansion cost $14 million, and it is very expensive to keep. In this new world, you are only as good as the last deal you made. It is a giant change, and he was not ready for it. Meghan's answer to these money problems has been to work even harder. She wants to start more brands and sell more products to people. You have probably seen her selling jam and other fancy things for the home. She wants to create a whole look and sell it to the world. For her, this makes a lot of sense. This is how you stay successful in that world. You build a brand and you sell it to the public. But for Harry, every new product launch feels different. It does not feel like he is doing something that matters. It feels like he is selling pieces of his own life for other people to buy. Every time they put their name on a jar of jam or a post, it reminds him that his life is not private anymore. His life is now a business. He is a product that people buy. This realization is making him feel very unhappy inside his heart. The big bosses in Hollywood are starting to whisper about them. They are saying that the Sussex brand might be broken and impossible to fix. Harry traded his steady royal life for what he thought would be privacy and freedom. But he is finding out that this new freedom has its own chains. He has to keep working and selling to keep everything going. The palace felt like a cage, but at least he knew where he stood. Now he sees that his new dream has a very high price tag. He is paying for it with his own life story. He is watching his life get put in a box and sold to the world. He wanted privacy, but he can't have it because he has to stay in the news to make money. He is starting to see that he is not living for himself. He is living for the business of being Harry and Meghan. That is the new cage he was talking about. It is the one he built around himself. The video of Harry at the health meeting spread very fast on the internet. Within minutes, it was everywhere. Millions of people watched it and talked about what Harry said. Back at their home, things were not calm. Meghan was very upset and went into damage control mode. She was walking around her house and talking on her phone constantly. She was very mad and was telling her team to get the video taken down. She wanted it scrubbed from the internet immediately. She did not care how much it would cost. But you cannot take back something once it is already out there. The words "freedom can look like a cage" were already everywhere. No team of helpers could stop people from sharing it. The damage was done before they even knew what was happening. When Harry finally came home, they had one of the biggest arguments they have ever had. What happened behind their closed doors was very intense. It was a huge fight. Meghan felt like Harry had hurt her in front of the whole world. She thought he made her look like a cold and controlling person. She said he ruined everything they had worked so hard to build. She said he gave the newspapers exactly what they wanted. But something was different about Harry this time. He did not back down. He did not say he was sorry or try to make things better. He stood his ground. He told her that he did not destroy anything. He said he was just being honest for once. The room went very silent after that. He was saying that he was done pretending for the sake of their image. He was finished with the performance. Meghan was so mad that she stormed out of the room. She slammed the door so hard that the lights in the house actually shook. It was a very bad night for both of them. The reaction to the video was very fast and very hard. People who watched the royals looked at every part of the video. People on TikTok were talking about Harry's body language and the way he spoke. They all thought the same thing: Harry is finally breaking. Even the newspapers that Harry does not like were happy to hear this. They wrote big headlines about trouble in their marriage. They had been guessing that things were bad for months, and now Harry had proved it with his own words. But Harry did not look angry in the days after the fight. People who saw him said he actually looked relieved. It was like finally saying the truth had lifted a heavy weight off his back. A friend described it as watching someone finally admit to themselves that this isn't the life they chose. Once you say it out loud, you can't go back to pretending anymore. There was a moment at a baseball game recently that showed how Harry is feeling. They were sitting in their seats with cameras all around them. A kiss cam found them. Usually when this happens, a couple smiles and kisses for the world to see. It is supposed to be fun and show that they are a happy couple. But Harry did not want to do it. He did not lean in to kiss Meghan. He did not have a big smile on his face. He did not want to play the part. He just sat there looking very tired and very done with the whole thing. It was a very short moment, but it said a lot. He is refusing to act for the cameras anymore. He does not want to be a prop in Meghan's show. This was a clear message that he is tired of the performance and the fake smiles. People have noticed that Harry has changed in many ways. He is very quiet now and stays to himself. Friends say he is not the same guy they used to know. The Harry who used to be the loudest and funniest person in the room is gone. Now he spends a lot of time alone. He walks through his gardens at night when everyone else is asleep. He sits by the fire for hours just staring at the flames. He is not reading or watching anything. He is just lost in his own thoughts. It is like he is trying to find something he lost along the way. He is trying to figure out how he ended up in this place. He even stopped taking calls from Meghan's famous friends in Hollywood. He is quietly stepping away from that whole fancy world of celebrities and influencers. Harry is pulling away from everyone on purpose. He realized that he has no family near him anymore.